So hey guys, this is actually a Q&A video. I asked a couple of questions on, well, I didn't ask a couple questions. I pretty much went on DA and Twitter and was like, hey, if you ever wanted to ask me something, ask it now. And as many of you guys know, I do a yearly Q&A on, well, my YouTube channel, but this is going up on my YouTube channel, so I don't know why I was starting with that. Anyway, I just felt like doing a Q&A. I haven't done one of these in a while. I usually do one of these like once a year, and they're fun. I like answering your guys' questions, and I feel like it's also easier than having to repeat myself over and over and over and over and over again by live streams, because I tend to get a lot of questions that are repeated a lot. Not that they're bad, I'd rather save a lot of people's time. So I actually got quite a lot of questions, so this is going to end up being a series of videos that I'm going to like spread out for a while and kind of keep them as backlog, just so you're not like bogged down with Q&A over Q&A over Q&A over Q&A. And if you're going to hear that beautiful paper ASMR, it's because I always like to actually write my notes on this magical thing called paper. Like, even when I have my normal videos, I don't write a script, but I write, like, little note cards down. I used to do it with sticky notes, and so now I have notepads and notebooks for it, so that's what paper crinkling is. So, also, when I'm recording this, it's currently, the window's open and we're by a busy street, because it's hot as balls in California right now, and I can't record this in a hot-ass room, so let's just get started. So, this is actually going to be, like, a more in-depth video in the future, because I think it'd be a interesting story time. But someone was, how many pets do you have you ever had? And currently, I only have 3. Well, by that I mean Cody and I only have 3. We have my 2 chinchillas, and we have our cat, Binks. But in total, in my entire life, I have had 26 cats, 3 guinea pigs, 13 dogs, 2 rats, and 3 goldfish. Just in total. My parents, and speaking of the cat, that jingling is the cat. Speaking of pets, my family's pretty cursed when it came to pets. So, we went through a lot of pets in my childhood. So, yeah. So, I will wait to do more of that in depth. Because my parents definitely don't have that many pets now. They have 2. Because I think it'd be a funny story time. I don't know. Realizing things about your family is always fun to share on the internet with strangers. So, another question is, could we have a summary basic info on Ticks and Turns? Ticks and Turns, if you guys don't know, is my most recent project. I've actually had it for many years now, but it's going to be my first published book. I'm not sure if it's going to be published through a publisher or self-publishing. The more and more I look into it, the more it seems like it's going to be self-published. But it's going to come out sometime, hopefully next year, 2019, because I'm writing it and finalizing it this year, 2018, at the time of recording this. Sorry for that. Cody's grandparents actually have a fax machine. I'm recording this audio at Cody's grandparents' house while we house sit for the summer. But what was I saying? All right. So I'm working on it and getting it done in 2018, and then I'm going to have my editor friend edit it professionally for me, send it back to me. I make the final edits. She edit it one more time, and then I apply for publishers. And if it gets rejected from publishers, then I'm going to end up self-publishing it. So, either way, hopefully 2019. If not, it would definitely be very, very, very early 2020. Yeah, 2020. It would be 2020. Because by the time it's already edited twice, and if it doesn't get accepted, I'll feel more confident in my, writing skills to be like, yeah, let's just put it on Amazon. So, that'll be my plan. Or I might end up making a Kickstarter for it. But we'll see. We'll see when that time comes. Right now, I'm not focusing on it too much. But what is the summary basic info on it? So the summary of Ticks and Turns is it is in an alternate universe, Earth, where in the Victorian era, vampires came out and sort of took over the world. So the main story takes place with a character named... I want to say his name. Yeah, I'm just going to say his name. With a character named Lance, and he is actually a human pet. Because of that time, humans have been enslaved into servitude and treated like animals. They are treated like pets. So, it is the story of Lance and his best friend / master, Thea. And it's about their adventures in this world and just certain things they learned. And it's got twists and turns. Hence why I picked the name Ticks and Turns. It was actually originally Clockwork, but I've noticed a lot of steampunk stories have the name Clockwork in the title, and I wanted something a little different. So, again, when I actually get it all done, I'll actually have like a proper video done and like a proper synopsis and everything all written out. But that's the basic gist of it. So, next question. Oh, do you have any stories, comic stuff in the works? Yes, I have Ticks and Turns. I'm also working on Marked. I'm almost always working on Mark in like little ways here and there. But I also have 2 side stories that like I have ideas for that I've written down, but I don't want to work on because working on Marked and Ticks and Turns is already a lot of work because I like making really filled in worlds. Keep getting tongue-tied there. So, after that, chances are I'm going to work on Marked, and I already know Marked is going to be a very large project because it's going to be a series of books. So what I'm probably going to end up doing is breaking the Marked books up, is getting Marked book, side project book, Marked book, side project book, Marked book. That's my plan, if I can do that, because I am an author on the side. I'm an artist full-time, so I can only ever write my books and work on my stories in my free time, which, as many people know, who know me very well and watch my streams and stuff, I don't have that much free time. So, but, yeah, I've got a bunch of stuff in the works. So that's all I'm going to say on the other 2 side projects. I don't want to give them away, because I don't want to work on them in depth, because once I work on them in depth, people are going to want to know more about them, and I'm going to just go down that rabbit hole that I'm not ready to go towards now. Alright, so next question is... Oh, God. Okay, so do you have any tips for new artists? This could be a whole video on its own, but I'm going to be quick and summarize this in one quick word. Practice. That's all you need to know. And so, when I make a video about it later, I don't know when, but seriously, all you need to do is practice. Practice, practice, practice. You don't just magically get better. I think that's like a problem with a lot of artists, is they like see the how to draw books, and I see people do this, and they think that they just need to do like a thing that's not practice, and it's like, no, you just gotta fucking practice. My art didn't get better until I literally started practicing, so. Alright, next question. Who is your favorite character you've ever created? Hands down, it's Tetsu. It's always gonna be Tetsu. If you could animate... next question. If you could animate, would you do the animation memes? If I could animate and I had the time, maybe? I mean, the animation memes are cool, but animation takes a lot of time. People are going to get really pissed off that I say this. It's not really that hard. It's really tedious. It's because you have to get everything right. So, and you have to, take proper lessons and take proper practice when you want to be an animator to get things to flow naturally. But, that's kind of why I want to be an author over a comic book artist. Nothing wrong with comic book artists or authors or anything. It's just for myself. I know I could get a book done in a year compared to a comic book because my stories are so big, they can't really be like one-off comics. They would end up being like graphic novels. So, because of that, it wouldn't be possible for me, which is why I like novels. So, there's your answer to that. But I do plan on learning animation, not to be a full animator, but just to know little things here and there, because I think it's interesting. And from what I know, when you're an animator, at least you're properly, like, you consider yourself an animator, a lot of your stuff stays on model, which is something I'm trying to work more and more towards, which I feel like you should if you want to be professional or anything. But anyway, where is... Okay, next question. Have you ever felt your art is not getting any better? Oh, all the fucking time. Actually, I'm gonna highlight this, because that could also be a good topic video. Yes, I highlight notes. I'm an old person. I know. But have you felt your art's not getting any better? All the fucking time. I all the time feel like I have like hit a wall. I'm not getting any better. I'm stagnant. But then what I tend to do that always helps me get out of that loop is I'll look back at art that I had done earlier that year, because I've found out recently I improve relatively fast compared to a lot of people. And that sounds really cocky, but it's something like people had told me for years and I'd never thought about it. But then like I look back to art that I did literally 2 years ago compared to now, and it looks like night and day to me. So whenever I'm feeling like really stagnant or really like low on myself, or I'm not getting any better, I look back at my older shit and I see where I've been and how I've come here, and it always helps me out. Another really good thing is getting out of your comfort zone. Something I've been doing a lot, I started doing more recently, is when I'm like really, really hit a wall and I can't think of anything to draw, or I can't think of anything to work on, I'll end up just literally doodling still lives around me just to like get something on paper. So that's been helping a lot for me. So that's the quick summary of that one. So next question. What are your hobbies besides art? What are my hobbies besides art? Oh, I've mentioned this many times, but I love reading, I love writing, I love video games, I love going on walks. I actually really, really fucking love swimming. A lot of people don't know that. I love swimming. I've been slowly getting into gardening and other things. And other things like that. I also love hobby crafts and junk like that. Hopefully that's a good answer. Good answer for you. Another one is, how do you make art friends online? Okay, so how you make art friends online is you talk to people. I know it's a shocking concept. So I shouldn't say that. That sounds very cocky. So I come off as a very like extroverted, energetic person, and in a way I am, but it's only around people I trust. You talk to any of my Artline friends, that's what you call it now, online friends. When we first became friends, I'm very shy. I suck at starting conversation. I'm very nervous. I don't know like what I can say, what my limit is here and there, and then once I get to know a person and I like test the waters and they know me, we tend to just end up becoming best buds and, talking about really inappropriate shit all day. So and then once we get to that point, I know we can talk about literally whatever we want and not care. And so that's kind of how it works. Is almost all of my art friends I've gathered from either my other friends who are artists or online, just talking to people, and interacting. I mean, heck, the reason why Zodiac and I even became friends was because I watched his stuff, he watched my stuff, neither of us knew we watched each other's stuff, and then he was doing a live stream once, I messaged him in the live stream, we were talking, and then he was, and I forgot how it happened. I think I asked him, would you like to talk or something like that? And he was like, yeah. And so then we exchanged Discords and we've been friends ever since. That's kind of how that worked. Same thing sort of with Holly Brown and Pastel Monster and stuff like that, is I've gotten a lot of them from just being myself and just slowly talking to them. Okay. We're getting pretty long here. I'm probably going to end this question and then I'll record a couple of more of these in a bit. So... Here's another good question is, how many years have you been seriously drawing for? Yeah, okay, so that's it. Sorry, it looks like I wrote it into another question. So how many years have I been seriously drawing for? I have been seriously drawing as my full-time job for about I'd say about 5 years. About 5 years of doing it full-time. Because what happened was I got out of high school. I was a teacher's aide for 2 years. Yeah, that's right. I'm doing math in my head. I was a teacher's aide for 2 years. Then I worked at a supermarket. Then I was doing commissions full-time while I was looking for other work. Then I worked at Target for a little bit. And then I left Target. And then I was still working on commissions full-time. And then I got a side job for a bit. And then a couple of other odd jobs here and there. There was the point in time when I was working like 3 jobs. And then I had my commissions. So then there was that. And by 3 jobs, I mean, like, they equaled out to 1 job. It wasn't like I went to 1 job and the next day I went to another job and then it's like I had like a job that I'd work like 3 days a week, and then I had a job where I'd work 1 day a week, and then I had a job where I would also work like 1 day a week, and then I had commissions on top of that. But seriously, I'd have to say 5 years doing it full time and budgeting and practicing and all that junk. But yeah, so feels like a good way to end it. I hope you guys enjoyed the questions I got and the answers I gave. And as always, guys, I will see you next time. Bye!